It's nice to be camped right next to a river, isn't it? This is late March. I'm in Lava Hot Springs, Idaho, not far from the Wyoming border, working my way back to Casper for the summer. And I got a lot to share. I've been on the road just a couple of days, and I'll tell you, it's an adventure and a half already. I think there's a little bit of a breeze out here, and it's a little chilly. It's not really hanging out at the picnic table yet season. So I'm going to take this inside. So if you'll join me in there, I'll share a couple of really cool stories with you. Skiing the last day of the season at Pebble Creek, possibly saving the young man's life while doing it, and I'll tell you about that. Um, Traveling out of McCall after a really challenging winter, and all kinds of neat stuff. So, hey, all you have to do is sit and watch because I'm going to stop the quote unquote tape and bring it inside, and that way you'll be able to hear me all the better. By the way, this is Alan from RVAcrossAmerica.net. Thank you. All right, that's much better. It's much more comfortable inside. I've got the fireplace on. It's in the 40s outside right now. It was nicer earlier when I was up on the slopes skiing at Pebble Creek. They call it the Rock. It's an interesting place. It really is. It's one of those real throwback ski areas. They only get $45 for a full day ticket. It's a heck of a mountain. I was able to ski only part of it today because a lot of it is just it's too late in the season, inaccessible terrain. But I'll probably return. So I'm staying here. The video that you saw at the outset was the Ranch Inn Motel and Campground, and I've got a description of it in my post. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, click the tab on the upper right hand corner and you'll get over to my post, and there's going to be a lot of information in there. It's still in the development stage. I'm recording this on March 26, by the way, 2017. I got a Riverside site. This is definitely pre-season for Lava Hot Springs. Lava Hot Springs is a really hopping summer resort in eastern Idaho. It's not far from Pocatello, about 40 minutes away. But for this time of year, nice and quiet. I left McCall on Friday, March 24, and I'll have some video for you either later in this video or you'll have to scroll down on my post to access that video. Some of the drive out of McCall down towards Boise is absolutely spectacular, and I've got a new dash cam that just does an incredible job capturing video and audio. And I share a few things in there with you about that drive. To be honest with you, it was an early spring in McCall. The ground was getting pretty bare. I've got a couple of photographs showing how quickly the snow disappeared around my site. And that also affected the ski conditions up in Brundage. So, you know, I was sorry to leave, but, well, I was ready to move on. I almost didn't get out. And it had nothing to do with the weather. It was just the fifth wheel hitch in the back of my truck. Didn't want to lock into position, and one of the maintenance guys helped me and kind of jiggled it while I kind of jiggled the transmission, and we got it to lock. When I got down to Nampa, which is in the Boise metro area, disconnected and reconnected the next morning, it behaved a lot better. It's still not 100%, but I guess that moral of the story is you got to lubricate those fifth wheel hitches. I did spend a day in the Boise metro area, and I have a story about that. I found a RV park that had absolutely horrific reviews. It's the worst reviews I've ever seen. I often go to rvparkreviews.com to see what people think of where they've stayed. This place was so bad, I picked the phone up and I called them up and I said, "What's going on?" I got answers I liked, and I'll give you a little bit of a review in my post. So again, if you're on the YouTube video, just click to get through to the post. If you're on my page at rvacrossamerica.net, you can either search for end of winter McCall or something like that. There are any number of searches, or you can simply look down for the most recent posts, and I'm sure this will be in the top rated of the most recent posts. It'll be one of the top rated posts. But that campground I stayed at charged me $13 for the first night. And no, it was not as premium as some of the premium resorts you can stay at that charge about triple that. And had I stayed a second night, and I only didn't stay a second night because I wanted to move on and get to somewhat more interesting places than the Boise metro area, I'm sure that their rate would have been in the low to mid 20s. So very affordable, very safe, very reasonable place. I'll tell you more about it in the post below. Um, while I was in Boise, I did see another Glacier Peak of those new Glacier Peak fifth wheels, and I'm pretty stoked about what I saw. Um, I'm headed across. I headed across Idaho on what was it? I guess yesterday, and that would have been the 25th Saturday. Got into Lava Hot Springs, and it's a pretty neat place. It's got hot springs. That's the focus of their downtown. I'm staying at a motel that's about a mile outside of town. The rate is far more reasonable. It's a lot less right now than it will be in June, July, and August. But even in June, July, and August, this campground and this motel is going to be $10 or $20 per night less than what's going on downtown. I soaked last night. Met some interesting people as I was having dinner at the Chuck Wagon. I'll tell you a little bit about that in the post. And I skied today, and again, that was over at Pebble Creek or The Rock. And my plan is to soak again tonight and go back to the Chuck Wagon. Chuck Wagon's got good food, lots of it, and reasonable prices. There are some upscale places that you can eat in Lava Hot Springs, but hey, it's me. I'm going to stay basic. Tomorrow, I may stay in the area and explore Pocatello. I haven't been to Pocatello. If nothing else, there'll be a coffee shop that I'm sure I'll bury myself in and get to work on this post, editing videos and getting everything ready. And last and not least, let me mention briefly, my fifth wheel is for sale. And in the post, I'll have a link for you to take a look at it. Frankly, I'm going to replace it with a Glacier Peak. I had a conversation with Augusta RV, and they're pretty much out of the running. So it's going to be a Glacier Peak. And I've got a post up on rvacrossamerica.net that shares which Glacier Peak it is. I will create a new post sharing the findings I had after speaking with the sales rep over at Augusta RV. Not nearly as impressed with it as I thought I was going to be, and I discovered some things where didn't like what I heard, to be honest with you. So my rig's for sale. Right now I'm at 34.7 for it. I do have a tentative buyer, but I'm not so sure that it's not one of those internet scam things. So I'm going to wait and see what evolves with him. And very honestly, we're almost into April. I'm going to put an order in for my Glacier Peak. I do not think I'm going to see it until mid to late summer. So if I still have my fifth wheel as we get into June and July, you can bet I'm going to become a motivated seller. So that 34.7 may come down. I don't know. It may sell before. Because frankly, 34.7 is pretty fair price for a 2011 Crossroads Seville. But anyway, that's that. I'm going to jump. I'm going to get myself ready to go downtown and partake in some good food and then partake in some good soaking. Anyway, Alan here, and you have a great day. I think that video that I'll share from my drive south on I-50 on Idaho 55 from McCall to Boise, that'll be in a separate video. That way I don't make this thing too long. And hey, as always, I welcome your comments, welcome your thoughts. If you're on my post, you can go down to the bottom and comment on it. If you're on my YouTube and you haven't yet gone to my post, you can always leave a comment and certainly subscribe and give me a thumbs up on the video that I'm making. Thank you, and have a great day.